Hi, and welcome to Home Care This Week. So we deal with a lot of issues, a lot of really big, kind of important issues with families who have a loved one in their home who need care. And those issues can be very complex, and they can be significant and really difficult to deal with a lot of information, knowledge, and skills that people need to be able to accommodate it with medical equipment or medication and all kinds of things. But then there are also the elements that on the surface seem really, really simple. Very small things that can easily be remedied and easily be addressed. And yet sometimes those things are the things that really can make a big difference and you just don't think about. In our day-to-day lives, we're not necessarily out there caring for a loved one at home and haven't done it for, ever, and weren't trained and educated on it. But then there may come a time when we're needing to do that, care for a loved one in their home. And it could be, like I said, some of these little things that can make all the difference in the world. It can take a situation that is troubling or irritating and then make it just fine. So this is a couple of things that we see, or one of the things we were talking about. I sat with Natalie, Tate, who is one of our case managers at Home Care Services, and I said, okay, let's talk about some of the things that people are looking at and dealing with. And while there are some of them that are really big, some of them can be very simple.
It's cold and flu season, and people go two different ways. We're also approaching when people like to do their organizing and cleaning and clearing. A lot of people do not dust. A lot of people overclean. These are both problems in a home when you have someone that's a senior, because these smells, whatever's happening, the people buzzing around and dusting things off, you have a dementia person in that home who's watching all of this. Either they want to get involved or they want to 50 times over tell you, don't move that, don't move that. We're seeing a lot of this happening. And I think that that's where the families should spend more time, maybe taking out a senior somewhere. And then if you need to get the place picked up, if you need to clean, if you need to take care of things that would agitate your loved one, they need to be, they need to go out to lunch.
The problem is kind of the change in environment, and
Absolutely.
It's not consistent.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the advice here is like, you want to try to keep, I'm assuming, much more consistent environment so that
Absolutely.
they're not, somebody's not getting that anxiety and agitation because somebody is coming into the house, that kind of thing?
Well, and when I say the word absolutely, what I'm really trying to let people know here is, even with children, you have someone that is experiencing a cold, a flu, an allergy. They are already imbalanced because they have Alzheimer's, they might have dementia. You're trying to get them to drink warm tea with, honey in it, and they don't know if they like it anymore. These are all situations you wouldn't think that a simple cold or allergy or a runny nose would be such a situation for a senior person.
Okay, so in this case, what you're talking about, and so what you've seen during this week is where we're in cold and flu season. So give me a situation. For me, a cold or a flu becomes, an irritant, something that's, hard to get my work done and things like that. But for a senior,
it's a big situation. You have to think about what, can they breathe properly? Are they going to sit up? Many people that are dealing with dementia or Alzheimer's, they have specific things that they do repetitively throughout the day. Well, you've got people that, they don't know how to wipe their nose. They don't know what they're doing. It can be a situation for a loved one to take care of someone with dementia or Alzheimer's when they're sick.
So specifically for dementia and Alzheimer's, what would in cold and flu season, what's the kind of advice? What would you suggest to somebody?
You know, first off, where's your box of Kleenex? I mean, I know that this seems like a simple thing, but we have seniors that used handkerchiefs. So now not only do you have to try to talk a man or a woman out of using and reusing a handkerchief, you need to have boxes of Kleenex. And who's going to get these things during this situation?
So to be as simple as this...
It's ridiculous, I know.
These kinds of things where people think about care for somebody with dementia and Alzheimer's, very complex and sophisticated. But it can be as simple as a Kleenex box.
It's a Kleenex box. And I know that that seems ridiculous to be having a conversation about this, but when it's that moment, and then they're looking at a paper towel, someone's coming at them with a paper towel or a piece of toilet paper, and they're like, I'm not in the bathroom. You are not going to touch me with a piece of toilet paper. So I know that a Kleenex seems like a silly thing to talk about right now, but we really have to be cognitive about what's happening in the home and how to help these people. It's so simple, and yet it's like, I don't have tissue.
It can be a big deal.
It can be a big deal.